You're with Left, Right and Centre this Wednesday evening. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. Now, last week, Rahul Gandhi had said he had evidence of the Prime Minister's personal corruption but wanted to speak only in Parliament. But today, he spoke at a rally in Mehsana in Gujarat and brought up allegations that have not only been available in the public domain but have already also been questioned by the Supreme Court. Rahul Gandhi referred to documents that seem to allege that Narendra Modi received kickbacks from the Sahara Group when he was Gujarat Chief Minister, paid on 9 different occasions and totaling over 40 crores, and separately 12 crores from the Birla Group. Rahul Gandhi insists it's time for the Prime Minister to face investigators and tell the nation if there's any truth to these allegations or not. The BJP, of course, quick to rubbish them. They've also said panic has set in for the Congress because the AgustaWestland scam has resurfaced. But we're asking tonight, is this indeed the earthquake that Rahul Gandhi had promised or a self-goal? Because the entries he talks about also has alleged references to leaders of his own party, including Sheila, Dikshit and Jayanthi Natarajan.
वो नाम आपने पार्लियामेंट में रखे क्यों नहीं?
Rahul Gandhi chose the Prime Minister's home district to accuse him of corruption.
6 महीने में 9 बार सहारा के लोगों ने अपनी डायरी में लिखा है कि हमने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को पैसा दिया है। 2.5 साल से इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट के पास है। इस कागज पे इनकम टैक्स लोगों के दस्तखत हैं। 2.5 साल से इंक्वायरी क्यों नहीं हुई? और ये जो 9 बार ये कह रहे हैं कि आपको पैसा दिया गया है, क्या ये सच है या झूठ है? ऐसा ही एक कंप्यूटर रिकॉर्ड बिरला कंपनी का, उसमें साफ लिखा हुआ है गुजरात सीएम 25 करोड़।
जो प्रक्रिया होगी वो अपना इंटीमेट करेंगे, या कार्रवाई होगी, खत्म हुई होगी या नहीं हुई होगी, ये तो इनकम टैक्स करेगा।
However, these are exactly the same allegations that the activist lawyer Prashant Bhushan took to the Supreme Court last month. But the court said, we can't order an investigation only because you name a big person. You must give us something on which we can determine. The court will continue hearing it next month.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक नहीं 3 बार ऑब्जर्व किया कि दिस इज नो एलिगेशन, देयर मस्ट बी सम प्रूफ। तो अब जब बार बार परिवार तक बात पहुंची है ऑगस्टा वेस्टलैंड में, तो ध्यान बटाने के लिए राहुल गांधी ने ये बेबुनियाद स्टेटमेंट दिया है। और हमारे गंगा के समान पवित्र प्रधानमंत्री, जिनका पूरा व्यक्तित्व ईमानदारी की पराकाष्ठा है, उनके बारे में बेबुनियाद आरोप लगा रहे हैं।
गंगा तो मैली हो गई, इसीलिए तो गंगा सफाई का अभियान चलाना पड़ा है।
AAP has said that it's glad that its charges against the Prime Minister have now emboldened the Congress.
कच्चे खातों में किसी भी प्रधानमंत्री का सीधे सीधे नाम आज तक आजादी के बाद से आज तक कभी नहीं आया था।
Rahul Gandhi ji, and he raised some important issues today. We raised this issue outside Parliament on December 2nd, 2014 to flag this issue about corruption.
But there is one way this entire thing could backfire, and that is that these same papers also implicate the Congress's own former Chief Minister, Sheila Dikshit, who is the projected Chief Ministerial candidate in Uttar Pradesh.
It's worth the sacrifice the Congress has perhaps calculated as it goes after the Prime Minister, starting from his home state.
The Congress perhaps senses an opportunity to unsettle the BJP this time around. The Patel agitation, Dalit agitation and also farmers becoming restive over the demonetization issue. The party believes that this time around it can reverse the trend.
With Sunitra Chaudhary and Rohit Bhan, Chetan Bhattacharjee for NDTV.
Well, joining us on our big discussion tonight, Yogendra Yadav, co-founder of Swaraj Abhiyan. From the Congress, we're joined tonight by Priyanka Chaturvedi, Shazia Ilmi, member of the BJP, with us tonight, as are columnists Aarti Jerath and Ashok Malik. Yogendra Yadav, let me put this across to you. Now, you, Prashant Bhushan, for that matter, the Aam Aadmi Party, have been following up details of this case for a very long time. At this point, of course, the big question that everyone is asking the Congress is whether Rahul Gandhi has just parroted out the same details or not. But I'm going to take this to you first. Is there anything new in this evidence, and is Rahul Gandhi a credible voice to bring all of this up?
Congress is raising it up today is a bit of a loud distraction. One, because as you correctly anticipate, there is absolutely nothing new here. In fact, nothing new in what Kejriwal said. All this was stated by Prashant Bhushan on affidavit to the court. Number two, Congress is the last party anyone in this country expects to come out with truth on corruption. And number three, predictably, there are Congress names here. And the simple question would be, why did Congress not take any action about it? Because one of the case pertains to UPA time. And in any case, this information has been around for a few months. Why did Rahul Gandhi not speak about it earlier? So Congress is a bit of a distraction. It actually, in a sense, lowers the case. But let's focus on the real case. The real question here is the evidence that has been put forward by Prashant Bhushan. Is that a final evidence that demonstrates that the Prime Minister took money? I would say no. We don't have that kind of final evidence. But that's not the question you ask at this stage. The question you ask at the stage of investigation being started is the evidence good enough to demand some inquiry? And the norms for this have been laid by the Supreme Court of India in the Jain Hawala case, later on about declaration of registration of FIR in the Lalita Kumari case. And the Supreme Court is very clear that even notations, diary things captured in a raid, these constitute legitimate basis for beginning of inquiry. In fact, in the Lalita Kumari case, the Supreme Court Constitution Bench has said a year ago that at this stage you should not even try to check the veracity of the information.
Yes.
The only thing to be asked is, if this is right, does it constitute a crime?
Yes, let me take that across.
It's a clear case. I would be shocked if it was not to be looked at this
Let me take that across to the BJP, and leaving the Congress's credibility aside, and much has been said about that. The point that Yogendra Yadav is making over here, Shazia Ilmi, is that he feels, and this is something that he and Prashant Bhushan have been pursuing for a long time, that there is enough credible evidence at least to demand an inquiry. And today, that is actually the demand that the Congress has made, that the Prime Minister should in fact say, I may be completely innocent, but let's go ahead and have an independent inquiry.
Yes, Yogendra ji, as he said it himself, that this is not the final evidence. This and in no way conclusive, and this has been demanded. There has been, according to them, a premise for inquiry, which is exactly what's happened. These set of documents were indeed offered and taken to the Supreme Court, and the observations of the Supreme Court were very clear that this fails to arouse the interest or the passion of Supreme Court enough to take cognizance of the matter. And just because a big name is being dragged, is it enough without any evidence or substantial evidence to merit a case? I'm sure the Prime Minister has faced judicial inquiry earlier on other matters. If indeed there was something substantial, the Supreme Court would take cognizance of that and take the matter ahead. I think what Rahul Gandhi has done is just not a distraction. I think offense is the best form of defense where he is concerned. And now as he's seeing that the walls are closing in, whether there's a National Herald case or the AgustaWestland
I think that point has actually already been addressed by Yogendra Yadav when he says that there is fresh paperwork documentation that the Supreme Court is now considering, and it hasn't had the last word on the case yet. Priyanka Chaturvedi, come in on this. Was this really the earthquake that Rahul Gandhi was promising? Have we heard it all? Was this what it was? Because everyone seems to be agreed that this is rather a damp squib, that he seems to have burst his own balloon. Or can we expect something else?
So firstly, till last week, everybody was doubting whether we would be able to present something or not.
But what's new?
This week we have some... allow me to complete. Allow me to complete. You've allowed Mr. Yogendra Yadav to have his say. You've allowed Sheila, the BJP spokesperson, to have her say. Allow me to have my say. It can't be that terrible an answer for you to hear.
Go ahead.
Please. So here's a point. What we have raised, I want to understand. I have only 3 questions to ask. Did the CBI and income tax officials raid Sahara and Aditya Birla offices? They did. The documents that were seized were via official emails, documents on Excel sheets that were presented and had work as evidence, which are admissible in any court of the country. Third question is, Since 2.5 years, income tax authorities had made some observation as far as the evidence was concerned in the Birla case, which was not even looked at by the authorities in the government, and not a probe was ordered. Considering there has been no probe order, there is no Congress involved in this. Even if there are Congress leaders here, we are open for an investigation. We are not shying away from investigation. We are saying let an investigation happen. Let it be free and fair. Here is a Prime Minister who won on the plank of zero tolerance to corruption. He spoke about, his personal integrity. When his own personal integrity comes into question, where you have evidence which says Gujarat CM was paid as far as Birla emails are concerned, and in Sahara very clearly it mentions Modi ji, Modi ji, Modi ji 9 times.
Okay.
So if he wants to be Caesar's wife above any kind of suspicion, this is something which should be coming from the Bharatiya Janata Party rather than rubbishing it. They should welcome a probe like this.
What about your own leaders, Priyanka Chaturvedi? Are you then saying that it's absolutely all right if you're asking for an independent investigation, then Sheila, Dikshit, Jayanthi, Natarajan, everybody else should be equally independently investigated?
Whoever is named in all these emails,
yes,
there should be a free and fair probe. Whether it is us,
I
them,
take this
anyone,
across to Ashok Malik,
it is an inquiry which needs a free and fair investigation.
Now, Ashok, at least we're hearing the Congress now saying, perhaps throwing their own UP chief ministerial contender under the bus when they say everyone should be investigated, all the names on this list. We haven't heard the BJP say that, though.
See, the matter is, there are two businesses here. One, the investigation or the charges themselves, two, the politics. As Yogendra Yadav correctly said, the matter is in the court. I don't think the BJP or the government can suo motu decide to call an investigation. It is for the courts to decide whether there is enough evidence or enough basis for to call an investigation or not. It will decide that in the next few days following Prashant Bhushan's affidavit and the new papers which Yogendra has said he has presented. If the court orders investigation, there will be one. If it doesn't, there won't be one. Frankly, it is going to end there.
Right.
In terms of the politics, Mr. Gandhi last week promised direct evidence of corruption against the Prime Minister. I don't think we moved on that at all because much of this was already known. All of this was already known. He's presented nothing new. And
in fact, as the Aam Aadmi Party said today that he's just a month late with his allegations, they've already brought all of this.
Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav, when he said it right now, have not yet said that we have accused Narendra Modi of taking money. Not at all. They have just said, look into these papers. Mr. Gandhi has gone further and actually made that case that there is personal corruption. Now, do consider that such forthright and irresponsible charges are usually made by either smaller parties or second or third rung leaders of the two national parties.
Yes.
They are rarely made by the top leader of the national party, whether the Congress or the BJP. In making the charge...
So are you saying that this hurts Rahul Gandhi's credibility even further?
In a sense, is he depositioning himself?
Can I please answer that?
Could I finish? Please. 1 minute. I didn't interrupt you.
I'm interrupting you, Ashok. I would never do that.
No, I'm just raising the point that by making a charge of this nature, and if he is unable to prove it, is he in a sense depositioning himself as a national face?
All right. A quick point that Yogendra Yadav also has to make, and then I'm going to come back to Priyanka Chaturvedi with both of those. Just a moment, Priyanka. Yogendra, go ahead.
I just wanted to correct Ashok on one point. You said suo motu the government cannot do anything because it's in the court of law. That's actually not true. The government, tomorrow morning can say, we have ordered investigation. The matter would end, that would, Prashant Bhushan would withdraw his petition.
I should have said, will not do.
It is...
All right, fair point.
Will not do. Yeah, they can if they want to. And on the court thing, let us be absolutely clear, because I heard Shazia make some references to the observations. Court has made observation. It has not given a judgment. As of today, the Jain Hawala judgment of the court and the Lalita Kumari judgment of constitutional bench stands, and according to that, all this is admissible, enough to start investigation. According to that, Augusta also should be investigated. And just one quick point, I find it very interesting and good that both Congress and BJP are named here. To my mind, it lends additional credibility to the evidence that we are looking at.
All right, I think that's a very important point that's being made, and I want both the Congress and the BJP to bear on that. Yes, Priyanka, go ahead.
Again and again,
what?
I think again and again the Jain Hawala case was
being... Allow me, I've been waiting patiently.
Go ahead, Priyanka, quickly, please, make your point.
So, firstly, I'd just like to mention, considering that they had this kind of income tax report from a senior director in the Income Tax Authority. They have said that investigation needs to be done. The government sat on it. They did not do anything on it. Now that there's a PIL, they are waiting for a PIL investigation to complete or judgment to come, and then they will constitute. That does not even hold true anymore. The second point, Mr. Ashok Malik's entire argument is purely on the basis of what Mr. Gandhi has spoken in Mehsana today. What makes him believe and what makes him so confident that this is the only evidence that we have, or this is the only charges that we have as far as the Prime Minister is concerned? There are a lot many things that would come out in the future as far as the demonetization process was carried out and how it was an incentivized scam started by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So why this sort of teaser then, Priyanka? Why not? You know, we've already had a teaser to a teaser. Why not just come out and tell us what new evidence he has?
Last week the argument was he has nothing. Now that he has made something, he says it's a damn squib. Now he must wait. Unfortunately, Mr. Malik's argument is only on the basis of what was spoken today. There's a lot.
That's all I have. I'm not an astrologer.
Okay, Aarti, you clearly have an interjection to make over there as well.
Yeah, you're not an astrologer, but considering you are arriving at judgments much easier.
On the basis of what I know,
we have to make judgments, Priyanka, on what we see.
As an independent person who comes on television channels, has a lot of opinions to give with regards to various things, you would have been fair about it and said yes, the Bharatiya Janata Party should consider an investigation suo moto. In fact, you're defending it that they shouldn't be doing that. That is what is unfortunate.
But Priyanka, I'm very sorry, your own leader, he raised the bar, he raised expectations by talking about an earthquake. So when he talks about an earthquake, naturally when he makes an allegation, we expect it to be something really big, something that is going to, really shake the government. But unfortunately, he just rehashed what is already
known. That is not evidence enough, whether it was raised 1 year ago or 2 years back, does not absolve the Prime Minister of this country from having sought money.
Priyanka, you have to allow other people to speak, okay? You don't like to be interrupted, you must allow other people to speak also. So please, let me have my say.
Aarti, please
and if Rahul Gandhi indeed does have detailed evidence and more evidence than Prashant Bhushan has, then I think a public rally in Mehsana was the wrong platform to use. I think he should either take that evidence to court so that the court has, can take advantage of it to decide what needs to be done, or he should use a more serious platform like a proper press conference where he can circulate that evidence for everybody to see. A public rally in Mehsana is not the right platform.
Priyanka, I do want you to respond to that. Why Mehsana? Okay, you can say that Rahul Gandhi was not allowed to speak in Parliament, but a rally in Gujarat, I mean, could it get more political with the Dalit and Patidar unrest over there? This is clearly a battleground state now for the BJP. This was clearly entirely political.
Firstly, my apologies to Ms. Jairat. I did not know she was the one talking. I don't have a television in front of me. I thought it was Miss Ilmi speaking, and I was interrupting. That is the reason why I was doing that. Firstly, till last week the question was, why does he want to speak in the Parliament? Why won't he speak outside the Parliament? Now that he has spoken outside the Parliament, why has he chosen Mehsana? Tomorrow it would be, why has he chosen to speak through a press conference, and why didn't he speak at a rally? It has to be something that we will choose. It won't be as per the liking of Ms. Jairat, as much as I respect her. It won't be as per the liking of Bharatiya Janata Party or as per the choice that television channels want us to make.
Let's keep this debate substantive and not make it about who says what to whom. Let's extend the same courtesy to all guests on this panel tonight.
He chose Mehsana because it relates to corruption during his tenure as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. It needs to be raised at a platform where it becomes relevant for the voters of Gujarat, for them to understand that while he was speaking of a Gujarat model of development, there's also a huge amount of corruption that he hasn't addressed. Now, whether we look at the GSPC scam, whether we look at the Anar Patel land grab scam, or whether we look at this, these are questions that need to be answered at a platform where the voters who have voted for him for so long need to understand.
Shazia Ilmi, there appears to be a strange situation, at least as far as these papers are concerned. The Congress now saying its own leaders must also be probed. But we haven't heard any similar statement from the BJP today, which insists that the Prime Minister is as innocent as the Ganga, and that there seems to be no word beyond that, really, at this point. Pure as the Ganga, rather.
you know, if there is anybody, any leader who has been vilified, accused, it has been the Prime Minister. Even as a Chief Minister, he has faced the court and has appeared before commissions. So I don't think it's a very fair thing to say, because there is, forget it being an earthquake, it doesn't register anything on the Richter scale whatsoever, because the entire matter has been taken to the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court has categorically denied the presumption of substantial evidence to merit a case, because of so many reasons, and because there is a hearing forthcoming on 11th of January. For these reasons and many more, BJP is just laughing it off and rubbishing this, because this is what it is to be done. If there is nothing serious and anything worth taking cognizance of. And because this has come from, and a Jain Hawala case has been quoted many times by Mr. Yogendra Yadav. What happened in Jain Hawala case? In the diary of S.K. Jain, there were some initials were there of several leaders. The case went on, and each one of them was honorably discharged, because there was no substantial evidence to back it, except for the initials that were there in Jain Hawala case. The matter went on for a long time. If in this matter, if indeed there is anything substantial, we welcome it.
Okay,
let Rahul come ahead. Let him register something on the Richter scale. Forget a bag.
Right. You know, the tremors aren't being felt at the moment. But yes, Yogendra Yadav, you have a point to make there. Go ahead.
I think my friend Shazia probably doesn't quite understand this. The Jain Hawala case, the court did not say we have found the proof to punish them. The court simply laid down norms about what is the condition in which investigation needs to be ordered. And that holds irrespective of the fact of that particular case. So, I think the heart of the question that we are looking at is this. There are allegations against the Prime Minister of this country. Are these serious allegations to merit investigation or not? That's the heart of the question. We are not dealing with some photocopies of some document that no one knows anything about. We are dealing with copies of documents that were obtained during official seizures, properly signed by income tax officers, after which there were detailed investigation, interrogation of these things in the Birla cases. And there is now an appraisal report, and that is the additional document that Prashant Bhushan is submitting to the Supreme Court. The appraisal report says, yes, much of the documents that we have found are true, that in many other instances they have been able to corroborate it, and in the case of Sahara 2, here are documents which have been procured in an official seizure and search. So it meets all the
criteria required.
And may I just point
forget
out,
all the norms, forget the legality. Suppose the Supreme Court were to turn it down.
Yes.
Should you not expect the Prime Minister to say, "मैं ना खाता हूँ, ना खाने देता हूँ"? There are these allegations. There seems to be some paper thing that people are holding. No. I order investigation.
Come in on that. Is this just going to be embarrassment for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress if the Supreme Court does indeed turn it down, or is this something that can be taken forward politically?
No, but I think that Yogendra Yadav is making a very important point, Ankita. If you look at it, the Bofors inquiry was started also on the basis of diary entries. That was the first thing. The Augusta case, which now has led to the arrest of a former Air Chief Marshal, I mean, that was also, entries made by, the sort of middleman. So a lot of investigations have begun on the basis of diary entries or sort of sheets of paper on which people had made handwritten notes. So I think that Yogendra Yadav is making a very important point here.
I can see Shazia is furiously disagreeing, and then last comments to you.
Bofors
well, I want to. No. I really want to bring in AgustaWestland, because this is the heart of the matter. This is what pains and torments Mr. Gandhi a lot.
All right, once again, it's going to become this sort of my scam versus your scam kind of debate, and let's not get.
There was a Milan Court of Appeals. No. Facts, only facts. I don't do that. There was a Court of Appeals in Milan which actually substantiated the claims made in the diaries. There were middlemen. There was Panolini and Orsi who were there, whose names are there.
Say something?
And this was done in great detail
Ashok,
by not a court in India.
I'm going to give
but
last
in
comments
Milan.
to you.
So it has nothing to do with just a diary entry.
All right.
We're talking about an investigation, Shazia.
We're talking
You're missing
about
the
whether
point
an investigation
completely.
can even be ordered.
That's right. You're missing the point completely. Sorry.
Ashok, yes. Last comments, please. I'm completely out of town.
Can I please make a comment?
Okay, fine, make your
Okay, Priyanka, very quickly, 20 seconds, and then I have to give last comments here to Ashok.
No, very quickly, it is not about our scam versus their scam. I'm only going to quote what the Deputy Director of Income Tax had mentioned in his report on 27th February 2014, which says it would be imperative for the assessing officer to scrutinize the data available in seized documents.
Okay, you've already made that point, Priyanka. Ashok, I'm going to leave it to you to close this.
No, we need to, simply because they are talking on basis of some Milan documents.
Okay, yes, Priyanka, we've heard your point.
We can discuss AgustaWestland on another day.
Discussions on television without any additional evidence.
Okay. Ashok.
The fact is, in the Bofors case, there was a money trail which was seen very quickly.
Yes.
We haven't seen that here yet.
Yeah.
If, as Yogendra says, new evidence is being presented Prashant Bhushan to the court, let the court decide and we'll take it from there, whether the court says yes or no. That's one.
Yes.
But the fact is, Rahul Gandhi, as Vice President of the Congress, promised a direct charge against Narendra Modi. Today, the Congress spokesperson has said there are details of other scandals. I'm sure they will come out, and Mr. Modi will be exposed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi, which is great. The fact is, the Congress Vice President, or the BJP President for that matter, will always be held to a higher standard and a higher bar than the second-rung spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress or the Shiv Sena.
And I think that's
this is something the Congress has to be cognizant of.
Right.
So the evidence has to be strong.
We're going to leave it at that tonight. I thank all of our panelists for joining us tonight. Stay tuned for News First at 10. That's up.